Gents proclamation news and governs with the prodigious, the prominent Professor Johnson. Flux with the flow and flux with the show. I want to exfoliate my expression. Exfoliate my expression. Word of today. You can exfoliate your pores, can't you? With special cream. I like to exfoliate my expression. My mum said that's a bit of a strange word to use, but it works well. It definitely works well. Exfoliate my expression. Absolutely. Abso-blinking-lutely. Exfoliate my expression. Thank you all for tuning in. Castbox, Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Google Cast, YouTube, you name it, we claim it. Anyway, I want to give you a bit of an insight what I've been up to over the years, the decades. I haven't been alive a decade, but almost, very almost. Helping, supporting inequalities throughout the world, the suffering. Everyone suffers at some point in life, whether it's bringing up children or breaking up from ex or being homeless, becoming hard for the bills, close to a mental breakdown, that's it. Things like that, it could be through debt struggles, life struggles. Talking about homeless shelters, night shelters, food bank support. There's all support out there for inequalities, for the suffering in the world, to get back on your feet. Some of the most successful people, like Richard Branson, have hit rock bottom before they made their way up to where they are today. So, there's organisations that help people in these situations if you don't go to the right people. There's Peabody. They've got an outreach support in my constituency. Depending where you are in the UK, you could be in Hertfordshire, you could be in Scotland, you could be in Ireland. I'm not sure where you're listening from, but in your borough, in your county, in your constituency, there should be a outreach support. There's different names for different areas, but that's something you have to look into with your local council and ask for these help. Peabody Support Service in Essex helps people with vulnerabilities, disability, financial situations. They also help you onto housing register as well, depending on your circumstances. If you're ex-alcoholic, narcotic abuser, you might get put in like a HMO type accommodation where people are working and you're living amongst other residents. There's also workers that you have to check in and check out to make sure you've been in at the right time on a curfew type thing. Because you're not only a harm to yourself, you could be a harm to society. As sad as that sounds, and as open as that sounds, that's a true fact. If you're not fit for purpose, you will be getting some sort of support, someone overlooking your well-being. Absolutely. I just want to say thank you to everyone in Castbox tuning in. Thank you to everyone on YouTube that just come through. Central Living Fund, again, for people that have just come from a broken family perhaps, or not necessarily a broken family, just split up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or moved out your mum and dad's. You had to move out your mum and dad's because your age, they don't no longer want you, they want you to move out. You're going through your adult life. It's time to look after yourself. You get put in a flat, you ain't got much washing machine, you need a new fridge, you need a cooker, you need this and that. Essential Living Fund do give people a chance in life, especially new family beginnings. Essential Living Fund will help the most vulnerable people. If you don't have the internet to get these forms, it's best to go down to the library and look these up. The forms are very, very easy to do. But if you have trouble filling the form out, please do go down to Citizen Advice. Someone at Citizen Advice will give you the time of day. They'll fill out the form for you if you struggle with filling out form applications, or they might download it, so fill it out, send it off. With the Central Living Fund, you can help people certain travel costs. Depending on circumstance, they can help you with food bank purchases. They can help you some bills as well, depending on your legibility. You get furniture, household furniture, white goods, clothing and footwear, general living expenses. This is what they can help you with. A food parcel, all pay cards, high quality rejected furniture from reputable charity, white goods from a reputable local dealer. There's essential living fund for all different areas. This one's Essex, Thurrock, Southend area. So you have to look up for one, like I say, for your constituency, obviously, to fill out. But this is the one for my borough, just so you know. Just give you guys a bit of support, people that are struggling, or you might know some that are struggling and need support or assistance at Proclamation News and Governance. We're going to go on to Carlston just shortly. Bear with me a second to go a quick sup on my tea before moving on. Think safety, think first. Do not enter a vehicle under sleep deprivation, under influence of alcoholism and narcotics. Make sure you got driving license, your car's taxed, MOT'd. Check your engine oil, water, core tank, make sure they're topped up to maximum level. Check your PSI limits on the side of your tyre treads, and your tyre treads are not bowled. Making sure you and passengers have seatbelts on and babies have seatbelts adjacent to the car seat. Check for further police instructions, road safety signs. Check for road workers, make sure they're not leering from behind the house fencing. Drive vigilantly around road work. Check your centre mirror, wing mirror before turning, acting into a safe, sufficient directional choice. Comprende? Absolutely. Anyway, got an instance very, very local. My constituency, 21st of June, at 3 o'clock almost. Reports obstruction road on A1124 Essex Yeomanry Way at A12 junction 26 A screen tollgate interchange. Traffic is coping well on the roundabout. Dedham 21st 213 partially blocked due to crash in A12 northbound from junction 29 A120 Crown interchange to junction 30 B1029 Upper Street Stratford St Mary. Traffic is coping well. Braintree, we have 2 o'clock, slow traffic, A13, A120, Marks Farm, roundabout, Gaddy's Corner. Bear with me. Oh no, it's biting me right now, this bear. Anyway, 3 o'clock, slow traffic on A130, White Hart Lane, both ways from B1137 to A1016, Chelmer Valley Road. Reports obstruction on the road on A12 from junction 16 B1007 Stock Road, Galleywood to junction 15 A414 3 Mile Hill. Traffic is coping well. 3 p.m. 21st, 1:15. Slow traffic. A128 Ingrave Road, both ways at A1023 High Street, Wilson's Corner. Affected all routes into Brentwood. 1:16 p.m. Queuing traffic on all approaches at Lee Valley Road, Sewardstone Road in the construction area. 6:40 a.m. first reported. I'll have a short amid break, guys, and then we're going to move on with the instance. Former Russian general warned UK will cease to exist as tension mounts over blockade. Retired Russian general and military expert have warned the UK will physically cease to exist if a standoff in Lithuania triggers a nuclear World War III. Lieutenant General Evgeny Brzezinski told Russian state TV the West is playing with fire in blockading Russian enclave Kaliningrad to stop sanctioned goods reaching the territory through NATO state Lithuania. Blasted British General Sir Patrick Sanders, the guard of the UK's land forces this week, with rallying call for troops to prepare to fight and beat Russian forces in World War III, reports the Mirror. He doesn't understand that as a result of the Third World War, Britain will physically cease to exist, said Brzezinski. The island will vanish, so I've no idea where he or his descendants will live. In his message to his troops, General Sanders had said, "I'm the first chief of the General Staff since 1941 to take command of the army in the shadow of the land war in Europe involving a continental power. The scale of the enduring threat from Russia shows we've entered a new era of insecurity. It is my singular duty to make our army as lethal and effective as can be. This time is now, and the opportunity is ours to seize." Brzezinski warned that alongside the war in Ukraine, Kaliningrad situation is deeply serious and claimed the West had ulterior motives. He urged Vladimir Putin to respond immediately by sending nuclear weapons to Kaliningrad, the former Prussian outpost of Königsberg, and the country's most westerly territory, which is wedged between Lithuania and Poland, and is also the headquarters of the Kremlin's Baltic Fleet. This is a long game to push us Baltic Sea and attempt to cut Kaliningrad off and finally take it away from us, he claimed. The West intended to block Kaliningrad economically, completely until our people howl from destination, he added. Putin should disavow the 1991 recognition of Lithuania, disavow the agreement with EU and Lithuania included on their borders, the switch of Lithuania off from energy. He said, and then finally we must take military measures. Brzezinski, who served in senior positions in the Russian Defense Ministry, urged the Kremlin to take control of the so-called Svalsky corridor, the supply route across Lithuania from Russian ally Belarus. We need to demonstratively move nuclear weapons to Kaliningrad. Our Ikanders. He told Putin TV anchor Yevgeny Popov on Russia 1 channel. Iskander missiles are currently based in Kaliningrad, but without nuclear warheads, he said. We've got to do something. We've got to strengthen our military presence at the border with Lithuania, as we did in December last year and January this year at the border with Ukraine. Russia told Americans first via confidential channels that they are playing with fire. He added, "You guys will actually play to the point that Russia won't stop, because this is a threat to our national security, an attempt on our sovereign territory." Brzezinski then warned, "The world will fear that Ukrainian grain will seem like a joke compared to our decisive steps." He was asked, in other words, "This is war with NATO?" He replied, "Yes. What else do we do? Otherwise, they'll simply strangle us. We can't stop. Otherwise, they'll deprive us of Kaliningrad." Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, warned that all trust has now evaporated between the West and Moscow. Relations between Russia and the West were not back to the previous level, because Moscow will never again trust such partners, he told the MSNBC. He warned it would be a lengthy crisis, but will never trust the West again. Open Foreign Ministry spokesperson Marie Zakharova called the West action openly hostile. Lithuania must understand that the characterization of vileness actions of Kaliningrad, transit and hostile, means that the talks have gone. She told the Primo Kremlin TV presenter Vladimir Solovyov, "It is them, the Lithuanian authorities, have behaved aggressively. They have crossed the line of international law and towards unfriendly, rough actions. It is them who have behaved proactively aggressive." Hostile, Lithuania had informed Kaliningrad's railway that the June 18th the transit of some goods from Russia is limited due to EU sanctions. The Kaliningrad governor, Anthony Habanov, said the move was legal and violated agreements that the country committed to when joining the EU between 2002 and 2009. Barzinski 72 was head of the International Treaty Directorate and Deputy Head of Main Directorate for International Military Cooperation at the Russian Ministry of Defense. Germany was set to send Putin huge warnings and unveiled newly high advanced £1.3 billion Panther tank. The Kf-51 tank has been on the familiar appellation shared in World War II era tank of the same name. The battle tank is the first such equipped revealed by Berlin in the last 40 years. The new Panther tank is equipped with highly modern equipped, making it one of the most powerful tanks in the world. Included in the tank, which cost $1.6 billion to develop, is a larger main gun that's a predecessor, the Leopard 2, a digital computer framework, and a full array of defensive features to protect the tank on the battlefield. Most notable in the counter-attack measures include in the tank, with the ability to deter attack by anti-tank projectiles aimed at it, including the American-made Javelin missile. The tank was unveiled by manufacturers German-based Divine Metal at the Euro Satellite Arms Show in Villepinte on the outskirts of Paris. Divine Metal unveiled the tank grey, black and neon green. Oh, lovely is that tank. How wonderful. Designed to place tank labelled one media outlet as Badass Tank. Carl Mizokomi, a journalist who covered the unveiling, said, "The Leopard 2, unfortunately, like many upgrade systems, eventually there comes a point when it becomes impractical to keep adding new stuff to the old system. The only way to move forward is to design something completely new. Panther is that new tank. It appears to use the basic hull design of the Leopard 2. Though the shape of the hull suggests newer, thicker armour along the front and sides. Panther's turret is also larger than its forerunner, supporting a huge 130mm main gun. The new gun, named Future Gun System (FGS), is largely in response to the new Russian T-14 Armata tank, which is the first unveiled in 2015. Divine Metal claims that FGS has a 50% longer kill range than the older 120mm guns. According to the Europaesh Technit, the gun is 130mm L52 gun, meaning the barrel length is 52 times the diameter of the barrel. This comes out of 6,760mm or 22.1 foot long. This is the barrel is also fitted futuristic looking shroud, but it is not clear how it contributes to the efficiency or effectiveness of the tank. Like its predecessor, the Panther has a self-loaded system for the main gun, making it more efficient on the battlefield. Larger caliber allows operators to target softer targets such as trucks, light armoured vehicles, artillery batteries and ground troops. Other new features include digital cameras giving the crew total visibility around the circumference of the tank. The tank can also launch its own drones for surveillance missions, with the turret armed with 4 Israel-made Hero 120 loitering mountain drones capable of flying for around 60 minutes, allowing the tank to target areas beyond the field of vision available. The tank is also much lighter than previous tanks, weighing at 59 tons, making it faster and more agile than older models used by various nations around the world. Russia has seen its aging fleet of tanks reduced to scrap since the start of its so-called special operation in Ukraine, with nearly 1,500 units lost. Germany create its new centre of units on the German borders, following fears that the war in Ukraine could spread to mainland Europe. Meanwhile, other nations have also increased the national defence portfolios, with Poland and Lithuania both added to their projectile mountains in recent weeks. We're going to go back to a short break before we end the show, guys. No, I'm not going to get changed. Right, I'm back to the show on Magic Jets. Last segment of the day. Man causing activist. Murderer. Brutality beat up female prison guard as she screamed desperately for help. The convicted killer brutally beat up female prison officer as she screamed desperately for help, a court has heard. Wife James DeMarco carried out attack on Roseanne Bell in privately run Adderwell Prison, West Lothian, before throwing pool balls at her and another guard. Livingstone Sheriff Court heard that the 32-year-old murderer of Pilton, Edinburgh, suddenly punched Roseanne to the face 3 or 4 times, knocking her to the floor with the force of his elbows. DeMarco has since been moved to Kilmarnock Police. He pled guilty to the attack yesterday. Sheriff Douglas Kincaid sentenced him to a further 12 months in prison. Wow. Lunatic. Life behind bars is menace to society. Simple as that. Simple as that. You can't go around being a menace to society for the remainder of your life, can you? My goodness. Anyway, legends, proclamation is Gavins. Take care. God bless. One loves. Sleep. Ask him if I can take mine, I'm out of charge.